Says Halacha Yomi. We're up to page 365 in volume 2. We are in Halacha 13. One who we were talking about, the Ya'aleh v'yavo. Someone who's not sure if he said Ya'aleh v'yavo in the Shachrit or Mincha prayers, and he finished Amidah already, and he says, Rabbi, I'm not sure if I said Ya'aleh v'yavo. What's Halacha? You gotta say Shachrit or Mincha again. Just like if you completely forgot to say Ya'aleh v'yavo. 14. If one forgot to say Ya'aleh v'yavo during Shachrit, and he remembered his mistake only after praying Musaf, he should nevertheless say Shachrit again. Amidah Shachrit again. And by that time, he already took off his tefillin, right? Musaf, he already took off the tefillin. Now, should preferably wear tefillin with a bracha when he's repeating the Shmona Esrei. However, if Chatzot already passed, right? Let's say he remembered the mid-afternoon that he didn't say Ya'aleh v'yavo Shachrit. Over there, he should say Shmona Esrei for Mincha twice. Tashlumin to compensate for this, he missed Shachrit. Because when you don't say Ya'aleh v'yavo, it's a critical mistake on Rosh Chodesh in Shachrit and Mincha. 15. One begin praying Amidah Musaf, and then you remember that you didn't say Ya'aleh v'yavo during Shachrit. In the middle of your Musaf, you remember you didn't say Ya'aleh v'yavo in Shachrit, and he can continue praying Shmona Esrei for Shachrit if one remembered before the bracha of Akel HaKadosh. So what happens? I started the Amidah for Musaf, but I didn't get to the brachot of Musaf. I'm still in the first bracha. So there you could continue after that part, after that first bracha, you could continue the Shachrit Amidah. Because you need to pray Shachrit first. You already missed Shachrit because you didn't say Ya'aleh v'yavo. Even though I started it having in mind for Musaf, I could finish going on with a Shachrit. But if I remembered in the middle of Musaf, when I already said Rosh Chodeshim, Matay Yatzarta, so then I have to finish the Musaf as the Musaf, and then pray Shachrit afterwards. What are you saying, Avram?
Can you do it in a repetition when it's...
If you're going to say it along with the Hazan, yeah. 16. One who must repeat the Amidah because he forgot to say Ya'aleh v'yavo, he has to also repeat the words Amonai Sotai Tiftach. Okay, 17. One who must repeat Shmona Esrei again because he forgot Ya'aleh v'yavo, he should say again the Shmona Esrei with a minyan if possible. If it's hard to find a minyan, so then you could say it without one. 18. A woman who forgot to say Ya'aleh v'yavo must also repeat Shmona Esrei. Also has to repeat Amidah. If she prayed Shachrit and she decided to also pray Mincha and forgot to say Ya'aleh v'yavo when praying Mincha, she must also repeat Shmona Esrei, but she should make a stipulation saying Tnai that if I'm not obligated, it's a Tnai Nedava. It's a Tefillat Nedava. It's a voluntary prayer. Because technically ladies are only obligated to pray one prayer a day, one Amidah a day. Okay, children, it's 19. It's proper to train a child not to forget to say Ya'aleh v'yavo. And if he forgets, you should tell him to say it again. This is when he's age of chinuch already, right? He's above 7-8 years old. Okay, somebody who forgot to say Ya'aleh v'yavo during Mincha Rosh Chodesh, and he only remembered his mistake in Arvit after Rosh Chodesh. So Arvit is already after Rosh Chodesh. Rosh Chodesh is over, and he remembered now that I forgot to say Ya'aleh v'yavo in Mincha Rosh Chodesh. He has to pray 2 Arvits in order to compensate for Mincha, but he should stipulate that if this prayer should count as a compensation for Mincha if it was invalid. And if his Mincha was valid, then his repetition Shmona Esrei should be Tefillat Nedava. Okay, good.
He says you love him.
So you should know there's a little bit of debate if you're allowed to make a tashlumin from a different day for a previous day, because Mincha is the end of the day and Arvit is the beginning of the new day. So it's a little bit of debate, and also there's a debate amongst Rishonim if you have to repeat Amidah for Mincha if you didn't say Ya'aleh v'yavo. So therefore, because of this little bit of argument, you should mention this concept of if I'm obligated, it should count. If I'm not obligated, it should be the voluntary prayer. What are you saying, Safai?
No, so the days are different.
Yeah, right. That's the problem over here. Right. If one forgot to say Ya'aleh v'yavo on Erev Shabbat, and it will no longer be Rosh Chodesh on Shabbat, there he may not say Arvit twice. Because there it's a weekday prayer and then going into a Shabbat prayer. Can you say a Shabbat prayer twice to compensate for a weekday prayer? And then no, that we say no. You may not recite Arvit twice, and you should instead have in mind to fulfill the obligation of praying Shmona Esrei for Mincha with the Chazan's recitation of Me'en Sheva after the Arvit, right? After the Arvit Friday night, we have this little repetition, mini repetition of the Amidah. You should count that should be your makeup for this that you missed, Mincha with Ya'aleh v'yavo. One who prays Arvit of Motzei Shabbat, Rosh Chodesh. Right, I'm sorry, Arvit of Motzei Rosh Chodesh, after Plag Minha, does not add Yalev Yavo Nishmona Esrei, even though it is still day, according to some opinions. You hear this? So you're at the end of Rosh Chodesh. You're praying Arvit after Plag. After Plag, you can technically pray Arvit. And that Arvit is for the day of not Rosh Chodesh. So now I'm praying Arvit early. It's still day outside. It's right after Plag. And should I say Ya'alev Yavo? I'm saying this Arvit for the day that's not Rosh Chodesh, but it's still day outside. So maybe I should say Ya'alev Yavo. No, you don't say Ya'alev Yavo. Since this Arvit belongs to the day after Rosh Chodesh, so therefore you don't say Ya'alev Yavo. And what do we say? We said the inverse also. Let's say you were going from not Rosh Chodesh into Rosh Chodesh. We prayed Mincha regular. Now the question is, do we pray Arvit with Ya'alev Yavo if we pray after Plag? After Plag, it's still day outside. Yes, since this Arvit belongs to Rosh Chodesh, you say Ya'alev Yavo in that Arvit. Okay, good. What happens in Hazan? If Hazan Shalom, Hazan is sleeping and he forgets Ya'alev Yavo, right? So it's the same thing for individual. Same halachot as an individual. However, if the Hazan already finished Amidah, he does not go back to repeat it for the congregation. He already finished the Hazara, and he didn't say Ya'alev Yavo, and then somebody told him, hey, Rabbi Hazan, you didn't say Ya'alev Yavo in the Hazara. You should do it again, no? No. You don't have to go back and repeat it again. For personal Amidah, you do, but the repetition, you don't. Right. 23, if Hazan forgot to recite Ya'alev Yavo, and remembers after the bracha Mahazir Shechin Yator Etzion, but before beginning Modim, so you should stick it in over there. You should stick it in between Mahazir Shechin Yator Etzion and Modim. You could stick in the Ya'alev Yavo over there. If you already said the Modim, then if you realize this is during Sim Shalom, he forgot to say Ya'alev Yavo. In the Chazat Shas, the Kohanim do not have to say Bekat Kohanim again, even though he goes back. If the Chazan forgot to say Ya'alev Yavo during his repetition Amidah Mincha, he has to go back and repeat it for the congregation, because he'll not be able to say Ya'alev Yavo again that day. So therefore, over there in such a case, he'll have to go and repeat it. 26. When the entire congregation is not sure if he said Ya'alev Yavo, he does not have to repeat Hazarat Hashatz. 27. If Hazan forgot to say Ya'alev Yavo in his personal Amidah and only realized after he finished praying, he does not have to go back and pray Shemona Esrei again, because it'll stall the rest of the minyan. Rather, he rely on the Ya'alev Yavo that he'll say in the repetition. The Chanun is not said on Rosh Chodesh. On Motzei Rosh Chodesh, one does not say Vidu in Kriyat Shema if you go to sleep before Hatzot. Some communities have the custom of saying Barchi Nafshi before Arvit Rosh Chodesh. Some people say it after Musaf. Okay, interesting over here. Chazon Ovadia says it's not good to say Tehillim at night, right? Mm-hmm. So over here, since it's not obligatory, so some say it's better not to say it. The Arizal used to not say it. Why? Because it's you don't say Tehillim at night. Okay, share Ma'alot, we have to say it's part of the prayers, right? But better not to say Tehillim at night. So therefore, the Arizal used to not say Barchi Nafshi. Even though the Rav Ben Zion Mutzafi says that the Ben Ish Hai used to say it at night, and this is also the custom of many other Kabbalists. Okay, so a little bit of a machloket, a little bit of argument if you say it.
So it was more extra careful with this.
Right. So this is a little bit of machloket. Yeah. So the thing is, the idea is that some have the custom, some don't. Baruch Adonai Olam.